Hey buddies, welcome to AmassGames. My name is Simon. This is the AmassGames podcast. I'll be telling you a few things I've been doing, including games I have played in the month of January. This is being recorded on the 28th of February 2025. I say February twice there. I will tell you the full games played in January and in February, so that's a double header going on. Let's start off with January though. So January 2025, 193 plays. There were 68 players, 26 were named, 7 games played at least 7 times, 63 games, 35 which were my copy, 38 games new to me, 170 hours over 31 days. Now, so far in February, it's been every day, so it's 28 days, 138 hours. So we do have a reduction of, so of course, there are fewer days in February this month. There are 3 fewer days. In terms of games played, 58 games, 24 mine, 31 new to me, 5 games played at least 5 times, 122 plays, and there were 37 players, 19 of which were named. So let's tell you now about those games played since this last episode went out approximately. So going back to the end of January, I'll give you some insight about what those games are about, and of course, other games you can be checking out on the channel, including some stuff that is still going to be going live. So we've had Rebuilding Seattle. We've talked about this already before. Do check out my best of the month video as well. And that's a good point. I need to be filming one for the month of February. So I need to have that live perhaps for tomorrow. Open Face Chinese Poker as well. Jumanji, you can find that on the channel as well now, as well as more videos for Zex Nimt or Take 5 30th Anniversary Edition, whereby you're placing out cards and trying to not be the person who takes that 6th card or the 6th card to get placed down and taking those 5 cards, giving you negative points and not doing as well. Okay, so let's move on to other games, starting off with the likes of February. So in February, It's a Wonderful Kingdom I played, Unrest, which is a strange kind of 2-player game whereby one team represents, I guess, a utopian or dystopian future, and you're trying to block the opponent from trying to get runs and sets and stuff like this. Mila Fury, you can check out my video for this. This is by Rainer Knizia, so check out my AmassGames playlist on YouTube, as well as my Dr. Rainer Knizia playlist, in addition to the Schmidt-Schmuller playlist. So this is a great game about trying to think when you get drafting some cards, do you want to try and double down on certain areas and try and get the majority by getting, for example, 4 of the unique colors or symbols first in a certain area, or 4 numbers, and sometimes try and chain it to get extra turns as well, and try and deplete your cards so that you can finish the game and perhaps actually win, which is similar to another game I'm going to come back onto. Also Dominion, so this is the first deck building game. I've played through every single set of Dominion and looking forward to opening the next expansion to give those a shout too. Also Heart of Crown Fairy Garden. So Castle Rampage, I've been playing that as a 2-player only game. It's my 2-player playlist as well. And this relates to, it's a card-driven game by Pegasus Spieler. So check out their playlist. And you're trying to, it's a bit of a tower defense-esque kind of game whereby you have your castle, you have your gate, and you are trying to blow up the opponent's gate and then their castle, typically in that order, but occasionally you're chucking in some cards, maybe the Spy, maybe the Sabotage, maybe the Berserker, to help explode and undermine that castle from the outset. Also games, more actually 2-player games, Fields of Arla, which is a sandbox farming game. Some games which I have talked about in the other podcasts, I won't try and bring you as much. Also Noishi and Sky Team, finally playing this actually in person for the first time. I do have the expansion to bring to the channel as well. Also Ratjack and more games of Canal, still got the final F deck to finish playing off. Also Umbrella and also Festivals. These are games like Scorpio Mask. Also, they're behind one of these games that did Sky Team as well. So Open, this is a game by Mandu, a kind of trick-taking game whereby you're trying to predict maybe who might do the best at tricks. But unlike Wizard, you can still get some like bonus points, or you could still get bonus points on Wizard as well. But it is a game whereby it's a little loosey-goosey. You're trying to get rid of your hands. It's a shedding game. It's a ladder climbing game as well. Also games which I did quite like, a game called, is it Knitster, I don't know if it's pronounced correctly. And this is a game whereby you are trying to play out some dice. It's a roll and write game by NLV, and I think it's Amigo and a few other publishers, whereby, yes, you're just trying to play out 26 turns or so, 26 dice, and trying to either get the best score by placing various numbers next to each other. So Monumental Duel, finished playing that. That's Exploration. Check out my comparison video for all 3 there. You might also want to check out some other videos. I've also played Survive the Islands, a 40-year-old game now. It's another different version they brought out. Also Splitter, as well as Capybara and Capybara, which is another Mandu game, quite a crazy game by Jaime Hash, a Japanese designer renowned for wonky games. such as Trick of the Rails, whereby you are trying to get various sets, but as you complete or maybe play out cards and complete sets, your monkey will move along, and you can only go up to as far as the monkey has been or beyond where it's been. So it's quite a tricky approach. Also gave Age of Innovation, which is the latest Terra Mystica game. I think the fourth one in the series now, actually. I've got Gaia Project and the smaller version of Terra Mystica as well. Cosmo Octopus didn't get on quite well with this one. Yes, it has this engine build feel to it, but it wasn't quite for me, as well as Giraffe Raff, which I think is another game by Mandu Games, which was sort of interesting. You're trying to get rid of your cards, but what you're having to deal with is sometimes if you can't play a card, you've got to take an apple. So sometimes you want to play more cards, which allows you to gain apples. Also games of Findorf, so check out my channel for this to do with like a sandboxy kind of power grid style game, which you have the market field as well. And also Astronauts. So covering of quite a few familiar games we talked about before, of course, that being a cooperative deck building game as opposed to Minion, which is competitive. Hide and Peak Friends, I played this to show my nieces, so they're 4 and its ages 3 or 4 plus or so, and yeah, they kind of gone with it a bit. I don't know how much they really stuck around with that. Fromage, I didn't mind too much by R2I, but I don't know. It didn't really stick around. If you want to play more of it, whereas Botanicus, I kind of got the grips of that one by Hans and Gluck, and it's interesting. I kind of like the idea that you're moving along, playing and digging your, I guess your flowers, wherever it is along. You're also moving your wheelbarrow and stuff. It's fine. Euchre you can find on the channel as well, whereby you are trying to win 3 out of typically 5 cards for 5 tricks. And yeah, that's the 2-player one on the channel, but I do talk about the other ones as well. Okay, so aside from that, there is also Ticket Ride London. I've been playing that again. That's my 39th play. I've also opened another Oink game, so you can find that on the channel. There's more coming to it as well. Another Baker Street game. I've been playing through that. It's the 29th play, officially the most. People have put on they've played 75 games in a day, which is impossible. So yes, I've kept that going. Also, Ticket tried the 8th collection, finally playing the Iberia map. I happened to lose because I missed off one location. I think it was Pamplona or something. Otherwise, I would have won it. So yeah, me not paying attention once again. Unmatched Adventures, Tales to Amaze is the cooperative version of Unmatched, which we did manage to win out on the base game or the sort of beginner level. That was fine. Yes, I guess it was fairly easy but enjoyable. Whereas the Peach Festival, which is by Thunder Griff, who has liked my stuff over on Instagram, that was nice to see that kind of collaboration, I guess. But this is quite a simple roll and write game, a bit fiddly though, to be honest. It's not my favorite roll and writes or anywhere in my top 40, but do check my roll and write playlist. Also, Bottle Imps, we had 4 or so games of this, whereby you play typically the amount of hands times 2, depending on the amount of players. So there's 2 of us, we played it 4 times. And this is a game whereby you are again trick taking, but you're thinking about, okay, well, you don't want to be ending up maybe with the imp because you're going to have negative points depending on what's been buried underneath. Also, heat pedals metal with the various kind of weather, I guess, modifiers and stuff too, which is nice and fair enough. Also, Earth. So finally got around to playing Earth in person. This is a tableau building game where you're trying to get the most points, playing out cards, trying to see what you can chain and combo together, maybe getting some growth, maybe getting some sprouts, maybe doing some various other things too, and get some bonuses in addition to some flora points. And yes, seeing how well you can get on with that. Okay, so a few other things. We've been playing another an escape room in a box game. So we're playing through another one of those by Inker and Marcus Brandt. Also Games of Harmonies and Spectacular, finally playing this by Chili Fox Games, which I happened to not win at on that occasion, but I did win on my first game. So the first game I actually won at it. The second game, we will try different things, and I didn't do as well. In fact, I think the scores were completely reversed, I think, because I kind of switched off and I thought, oh, let's for fun, let's try something different out. So the game, which I mentioned earlier, the game where you're trying to use up your pieces, like Mila Fury, is the game Tower Up. So this is very much like the game Manhattan, which you can find on the channel as well, whereby you are looking to get the most points by placing out these various pieces, these tower blocks, and you're going to place your roof on top of them, and there'll be 3 different bonuses to help score as well. And you're also trying to get your digger, your dump truck, your front loader, and your lorry further forward, and they get points depending where they're up to as well, in addition to how many roof tiles you have visible at the top at the end of the game. Kalis have gone back to rediscovering this, a bit fiddly compared to what it was as an implementation, so I didn't enjoy it as much. Also, Dixit, we can find the channel, and also Onslaught, which is also by WizKids, such as Rebuilding Seattle. So more games playing this weekend is going to be Heart of Crown, Dominion, Tower Up, another Escape from in a Box, and more games by Sherlock Holmes, a competitive kind of whodunit mystery going on there too. That pretty much covers everything off. Again, this has been remarkably short actually for covering off 2 months worth of content in some respects, at least because of course it's the insight for January. But yeah, lots of games planned, lots more games being opened in the month of March, and also some more review copies. So more things to check out. I've also got more inserts. So I've been sorting one of those out today for Western Legends, and you can also already see on the channel my video for Earth's insert as well, which I'll be playing with tomorrow, in fact. So thanks very much for listening. Speak again soon. Enjoy those videos, also on TikTok, X, Threads, etc., and plus Instagram for now, and of course Facebook. Back to the table.